Get your reactions ready. The live portion of the show will begin in just a moment. Today is May 11th, and the Yankees are kicking off a crucial 4-game set in the Bronx with the first-place Tampa Bay Rays. Domingo Germán was back on the hill. My recap and your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Hey everybody, a quick word from today's sponsor. Before we dive into today's episode, let me tell you about Future Fitness. Imagine for a moment having a personal trainer right in your living room. That's exactly what Future offers. When you sign up, you'll have a video call with your trainer who will design a unique fitness plan just for you. Whether you prefer body weight workouts at home or going to the gym, Future's trainers are equipment agnostic and will adapt to your plan accordingly. With voice prompts, video check-ins, and in-app messaging, it'll feel like your trainer is always by your side. They'll help you achieve your fitness goals and keep you on track, even if you need to switch things up once in a while. Future's trainers have worked with everyone from professional athletes to busy professionals, so they know how to meet you where you're at. Use the link in my description and get your first month for just $19. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your fitness journey. Well, guys, I'm all ranted out, so don't expect a profanity-laced tirade this evening. But this was a rough night for the Yankees. And I wish that they would stop waiting until the 9th inning to show any kind of life at all. It seems like that's been kind of a consistent problem this season. Parkson says, back to an unwatchable offense. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Welcome back, everybody. I would ask how you're doing, but I think I already know. No need to mention how big a series this is. The Yankees don't play the Rays that much this season. Really, you were hoping to win 3 out of 4. You can still do that. That's still a possibility. But it's an uphill climb now. Now you got to win 3 in a row from a pretty good baseball team. And you generally like to win the opener of a series at home, which they were not able to do tonight. I'm sure that Boone will tell you that, there's lots of positives, that there's a good feeling in the room, that guys are grinding out at bats, and they're seeing the ball well. I'm going to go ahead and disagree preemptively with his post-game comments, which I know he's going to make. They got embarrassed on their own turf to the first-place team, and you're seeing now the difference between these two ball clubs. And games like this are not they're not only the worst games to watch, but they're the worst games to recap, because there's nothing I can really talk about that's positive at all. I mean, Domingo pitched pretty well. Jake Bauers hit the ball hard a couple of times. Gleyber Torres continued his hitting streak. But that's it. How many hits did the Yankees get tonight? 4? We got 4 hits? As Landon says, what a reality check.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
I actually had a pretty good feeling coming in tonight. I felt like the Yankees had some momentum after facing the Oakland AAAs for a few days. But they were just unable to get anything going against a real pitcher. And Rasmussen, however the hell you say it, is a guy who just completely owns the Yankees. I think they said 21 straight scoreless innings against the Yankees now. He threw 7 shutout innings tonight, allowed 2 hits, no walks. I guess you can't leave men in scoring position if they never reach first base. The Yankees didn't get anybody to scoring position until the 9th inning. And look, when you check out the lineup for tonight's game, one thing was pretty interesting. This team was pretty close to the opening day roster. The only guys who were out of the lineup that would have started on opening day if everybody was healthy were Giancarlo Stanton and Oswaldo Cabrera. And let's be honest, those were not the difference makers. I'm sorry, but Giancarlo, he strengthens your lineup. He would have done nothing with Rasmussen tonight. He can't have slider. That was just a good pitcher having his way with the Yankees and shoving it all night long. Completely embarrassed on their own turf. Unreal.
Don't fail me again.
Yanks got to credit Rasmussen, man. Just bringing it. Frankie says, tomorrow's Friday. I ran out of bullet points, so I just, that's one thing that's positive. Tomorrow's Friday, right? I always hate when people are like, thank God it's Friday, like it's the best day of the week. Thank God it's Saturday when it's Saturday, man, because then you don't have to work usually, unless you do a Yankees podcast. Domingo faced the Rays last time out, and he was okay. 5 innings, 2 runs. Before that, he had that near shutout. So he's been throwing the ball pretty well. Today, he got off to kind of a dicey start, single and a walk in the first inning. But he pitched out of it, and he settled down. So we got to credit him with that. He remained in a groove pretty much all night. Unfortunately, the Yankees' bats were just asleep. Top of the 5th, Rays got a runner on from the rare error by Anthony Rizzo, routine ground ball. I'm not going to beat him up over that. I saw a lot of people on Twitter going at him for that. Look, baseball, errors are a part of the game. Everybody's going to make errors from time to time. Nobody, especially an infielder, gets through a season with no errors. I mean, Bernie Williams did it one year, but it rarely happens. Everybody's going to make errors, even the best of fielders. So, look, that's just baseball. My issue is more with the management. So, before we get to the Boone decision, got to talk about the 5th inning, because this was interesting. Wander Franco, who leads the league in WAR, grounded out to end the inning and didn't run down the line. Looked like he was flexing his neck. He got pulled out. So the Yankees may miss him the rest of the series if something happens. Esai the Chef says, I don't care about hitting stats, and he's quoting Dylan Lawson. I saw that article in the, I don't know if that was the exact quote, but I saw that article in The Athletic, I believe, which is a good article. You should read it. The problem is that the Yankees hitters just, their approach is all wrong. Anyway, Wander Franco got hurt, had to leave the game. You don't want anybody to get hurt, but definitely a break for the Yankees over the next few games if he can't play. Domingo was done after 5 2/3. He allowed 3 hits, 2 runs. Only one of them was earned. 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. Nice job by him, but the bullpen did not help him out. He was at 87 pitches in the 6th inning, and Boone must see like upper 80s as his limit because he came and got him. Brought in Marinaccio, who, to his credit, has been excellent this season, but he did not have it tonight. Hindsight is 20/20, but I'm not sure why you just don't let Domingo close out the inning and then give Marinaccio a clean inning to start with. I'm sure that wouldn't help tonight because he had nothing. But you can call it second guessing of Boone. You can say on Monday morning quarterbacking, even though the game just ended 15 minutes ago. And it's, I saw a lot of people on Twitter in real time saying, no, leave him in there. So this is really more of a first guess by the fan base. William always leaves comments. I always see him after the game. Says, salute. How's it going, my friend? But I see why Domingo wears number 0, because Boone has absolutely no faith in him whatsoever. Rays tacked on some runs late. Yankees made a late rally, but not enough to get it done.
I'm a loser. Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
LeKaiser says that the bullpen is the problem with the team. Actually, the bullpen has been one of the best in baseball. It's the management of the pitching. A lot of times, Boone just uses the wrong people in the wrong spots in key situations. Mike Bragg says Herman committed the mortal sin of putting someone on base.
What?
Unbelievable. How dare he? He didn't throw a perfect game. Get him out of there. Can't tell I'm being facetious. Squint Eastwood says, can the Yankees win a series opener? The world may never know. Gary Wanamaker says, Rays were having fun in the dugout and the Yankees were at a funeral. Well, the Yankees didn't have any reason to be celebratory. I would have been upset if the Yankees were looking happy and celebratory in a game like that. But I think you're onto something with the energy. I don't know, it's hard to quantify energy because it's such an intangible thing. But we've all been at parties that are just lame. They got the wrong energy, and then somebody shows up and the whole room changes. Chris Farley was said to be one of those type of people. He would show up in the room and everybody would get a ton of energy. The Yankees need one of those guys. Now, Harrison Bader, maybe one of those guys. I don't know. But just couldn't get it done today. Brett Deutsch says Boone and analytics purposely bring guys in with 2 outs to skirt the 3-batter rule if they look shaky. That's an interesting point.
Excellent.
That is a good point. I didn't consider that. Parkson says Dylan Lawson is useless. All he cares about is exit velos and barrel rates. I mean, those are 2 data points, Launch angle is another thing they're very concerned with. Got a lot of guys taking big uppercuts. I like line drive hitters. I like guys who can spray the ball all over the ballpark, like DJ. But Tabor Talk says Garrett Cole going tomorrow, redemption time. You might remember that Garrett Cole got absolutely obliterated last time out by the Rays. And so 6 earned runs, he needs to bounce back, and hopefully at home. Steven Canoff says, R.I.P. to Chris Farley, the man. Bernie Cerrito says, first place team comes in and we have no energy on the field or in the dugout. That's what it seems like to me. It just seems like a very bored team. Like they're sitting around waiting for the 3-run home run. This is not the A's. You're going to have to play with some energy. You're going to have to play with some passion out there. Joe Higashi says, Chris Farley lost a lot of weight.
Shut up, bitch.
We will not disrespect Chris Farley. Man's dead. Richard Colton says Mother's Day Massacre. Not for a couple of days. Sounds like a B horror movie from the 80s. Squint Eastwood says, any news on Bowers? I'm anxious to hear that myself. So late in the game, Bowers slid for a fly ball. It was a, fairly shallow fly ball. I would say routine. And he kind of slid for it. Probably didn't need to. A decent outfielder probably would have caught it standing up. But it looked like as he was jogging back in, he was kind of limping. But he came and took his next at bat. So, maybe Boone will say something in the post-game show. But my guess is he's going to get some treatment, and we'll find out tomorrow. Excuse me. Eric Lavoie says, put the bat on the ball and make things happen. That's the way to do it. Guys, do you even want to look at the box score tonight? Yankees got 4 hits. Rays got 11. I mean, I can sum it up right now. Torres got a hit. Bowers got 2 hits. Calhoun got 1 hit. And 2 of those hits were in the 9th inning, I think. Torres and Calhoun. So the Yankees got 2 hits through the first 8 innings. It's not what you want. It's not what you want. CT Card says passion is definitely lacking. And then Mike GR Mita says, I miss Mariano too. Every time we had a lead. Look, there's a reason that he became the first unanimous Hall of Famer. The guy was automatic for years and essentially with 1 pitch. And he didn't even realize he had the pitch until his 2nd or 3rd year in the major leagues. Playing catch. And one thing that was interesting about Mariano is that his ball cut and he didn't lose any velocity. Very few people have that ability. Emmanuel Clase with the Guardians is one of those guys. There's a few of them. Nathan Eovaldi was a guy that during his heyday, back when he was winning a World Series with the Red Sox, I want to say 2018, he was throwing that cutter at 96, 97. That's pretty much where Mariano lived at with the cutter. He wasn't a 98, 99 guy. He was 95 to 97 during his prime with just a dart of about that much very late. They used to have a catcher cam, and they would break it out during the All-Star game and things like that. And I always loved when they would show Mariano with catcher cam. But what was interesting about Mo is that even as he got older and lost some velocity, he was still getting guys out with that cutter because he learned how to make it bend a little bit more. He was so much fun to watch. Jalen Wood says, I'm a Mets fan now. Yikes.
Oh my gosh. Does that suck?
Esai the chef says, we certainly haven't solved Rasmussen yet. Aaron Boone just now. I told you it was going to be more just stating the obvious or saying words that really don't mean anything. But yeah, tough. CT Cards is saying Rodon is Carl Pavano 2.0 as of now. We heard on the broadcast tonight that they think he'll be back before the All-Star break, but unfortunately the Yankees might be out of it by then. And also, he can't hit. The Yankees need hitters, and he's not a guy who can hit.
He can't hit for nothing.
Shout out to Val. UT says, losing games tends to kill any momentum a team has. The dugout suffers the first negative thing. So what he's saying, I guess, is that this team doesn't handle adversity very well. And I have to say that I agree. This team, once they get down, they don't have very much life. I mean, occasionally you'll see a ninth inning comeback, but only when they're down big, you know? And generally it's because they're hitting off of like the last man in the bullpen because the other team's just trying to get outs. Lou says, no runner reached second base until the ninth inning. Like I said, you can't leave runners in scoring position if they never get there. Joe Mann saying, hit that like button. Please do. Please do. What a tough night. UT also says, too bad Aaron Hicks got hurt. We really needed his power and hits tonight. And William is asking, do you think that Garrett Cole regrets coming here? No regrets. I don't know. I think he always wanted to be a Yankee. I think he's getting paid more than anybody else would pay him. Him and his wife seem happy. They got kids now. Every time I see him, he's smiling. So, to me, I think life is good for Garrett Cole. He does his job most of the time. Look, you're not going to win them all. We're going to take a couple more comments, but first, got to play the It's Gonna Rain music.
Game over. I gotta get out of here.
Richard says, hang him up, Hicks. I agree. Albert says, third start in a row where Domingo Germán's pitches are under control,
Most impressive.
and everyone is thinking, this is great. And then Aaron Boone hold my beer and grabs the analytics card and pulls him out of the game. That's a great comment. Albert's right on. Domingo has been pitching very well. And he's been essentially moving the ball in and out, mixing his pitches, throwing strikes. He had 3 walks tonight, but kept the ball in the ballpark. You know, I feel for Domingo. He deserves better than this. He's pitched well the last few days. Tommy Higgs says Yankees need some youth. Bring up Andres Chaparro. Let's see what the minor league teams are doing tonight. I'm going to pull up MILB.com, and we're going to take a look. All right, so let's take a look first at the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. Looks like they lost tonight 4-3. Chaparro was 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. He's hitting .273. Let's take a look at his numbers on the season. Got 10 home runs and 27 ribbies in 128 at-bats. Not too bad. He's 24 years old. Got a very likable face. Like, look at him. He's just... I could see him, like, being in commercials and stuff. He just seems like he's got a bubbly, fun personality. Quadzilla is the nickname. Let's take a look back at the AA team. See how Scranton did tonight. Somerset. Excuse me. Looks like they won 9-1. See if the Martian did anything. Looks like Jason was not in the lineup tonight. Trey Sweeney, 2 for 4. Looked like he hit his second home run, a solo shot. Pereira hit his third home run. He is hitting .236. He's off to a bit of a slow start. Hardman, 3 for 5. He's hitting .238. We got some low batting averages in this league, too. .226. Austin Wells really hitting .226? I thought, well, he's been hitting home runs. He's got 5 home runs in 48 at-bats. He's 10 for 48. That comes out to .208. Interesting. That must not be live. So, but he does have 5 home runs. We know that's what the Yankees care about, so maybe he'll get called up. Anybody in particular you guys want to look at? By the way, Will Warren, a guy who's been making waves as a prospect, 3-0 now, 6 starts, AA, 29 in the third innings, 39 strikeouts. So definitely missing bats. Anyway. Well, not looking too good for the Yanks. James G says, Hicks is storing his energy and will emerge a beautiful butterfly. Somehow, I doubt it.
A what?
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey everybody, that's a wrap for today's episode. Thanks so much for watching and listening to the podcast. We appreciate your support, and we've got a few ways that you can help us continue to grow. First off, you know this, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps other passionate fans like you discover us and join the conversation. If you're active on social media, give us a follow on Twitter at NYY Recaps Derek and Instagram at NYY Recaps for in-game and post-game content. And if you want to take your support a step further, consider becoming a member to get your name featured in lights on each post-game show. And I try and put out occasional members-only videos. We're going to be doing more of that soon because we've got a significant amount of members now. And for all you Yankees fans out there, visit NYYRecaps.shop to snag some awesome merch for your favorite players. We've got hats, hoodies, mugs, coasters, artwork, you name it. Thanks again for tuning in. And if you want more content from Derek, that's me, the creator of this channel, check out my other channel, STREAMSKI. It's got content on things like UFOs, paranormal activity, all that kind of fun stuff. So check it out. I'll see you next time.
Ball game over.
Most impressive.